The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the ACHA Power Play on this March the 29th, 2023. Wow, the 2023 National Tournament is in the books. It was a wildly successful tournament, I may add. All five divisions in one location out in Boston, Massachusetts, Marlborough to be exact. And we crowned some brand new national champions. We'll go through the list of them. We've got new champions in men's Division 1, men's Division 3, men's Division 2, women's Division 2. We only have one repeat champion, of course. That's Liberty in women's Division 1. They got one for the thumb this year, so we will go through all those. But we're excited to bring in right now the head coach of the new men's ACHA Division 1 champions, and that, of course, is Wyatt Waselenchuck. Wyatt, thanks for taking time out tonight to be with us. How are you?
Oh, doing good, Lou. I'll have to apologize first and foremost. I'm, as you can see, doing this from my car. We've had a pretty busy week here and have a couple of functions that the team's visiting tonight. So I apologize for my whereabouts.
Hey, I'm thrilled that you're taking time out to be with us. First of all, I got to say congratulations. But I have to also say it doesn't come easy, does it?
No, I mean, I love those boys like my own children, but boy, oh boy, did they sure make it tough on me this past week. So, and in the same breath, I think that makes it that much sweeter. It was such a grind from day one, and I just couldn't be more proud of the guys.
Well, I wanted to, you've probably already listened to it or watched it, but I want to give you a couple of highlights here. Here's the Indiana Tech, the closing parts of that overtime game.
Ball and squirts loose over on the far side. Played over there by Hamilton. Now played on the near corner, far corner. They'll chop at it. 8 minutes to go in overtime. Played over on the far side. They have an opportunity now. Minot State, an open net, and he scores! Minot State survives. And the game-winning goal scored by Troy Hamilton. 12 minutes and 8 seconds into overtime. And Minot State will advance to the Final Four with a 4-3 victory. Again, time of the goal, 12 minutes and 8 seconds.
You know, what's funny is you won your first game and rather convincingly, and then you got a heart stopper against Indiana Tech, a scrappy team. Talk a little bit about that, if you would. Going from such a different type of a landscape, a game that was relatively, I don't want to say easy, but easier on maybe your mental side, and then an overtime game like that.
Well, first of all, how about that call on the goal? I mean, that was pretty darn legendary. You did a really, really good job for us this past week. I just wanted to let you know that, Lou. But
thank you.
You know what? That was probably the best thing for us, and I'll be honest in saying that. And I know that every coach says that, right? The old cliche, you gotta, battle through some of that stuff, and losses are good for us sometimes, but I think that was the best thing for us. And I think in a sense of, I thought that we really, really outplayed Indiana Tech that night. I mean, the shots are indicative of that. But we stuck with it and we earned it and we grinded through. And, I mean that when I say, I think that we did that the right way. We earned it. And you know what? You ran into a hot goalie that day against Indiana Tech, all the credit to him. And, in the same breath, man, they sure played a hard game against us. And it seemed like any opportunity that they had, they put pucks in the net and made it really tough on us. So it was certainly transitioning from that game one against still, you know what? I do think that Michigan Dearborn game was a little closer than the score showed, but certainly heading into game 2 after winning 8-0 as a coaching staff, you're always a little weary because, what kind of team's going to show up? Are we going to, be a little too overconfident? And, luckily we were able to still work hard and do things the right way. And, I do feel like the right team won that night, and that's not to be arrogant about it or anything like that. I do feel like we earned it that night. And, luckily Troy found the back of the net there against, just a phenomenal goaltender there.
It's funny. I saw something in you guys and also in Michigan. We're going to have Cal Stripling come on in about a half hour at the bottom of the hour. It was a confident look that, I know what happened to you guys last year. You had that determination look. I could see it in the players, the way that you carried yourselves. It wasn't anything, over the top. It wasn't arrogant by any stretch, but you had that look. I know you guys were there to enjoy the time, but I saw just a different kind of a vibe out of you guys. Just not, watching it from afar, being not really near you guys for your preparation, but seeing you on the ice afterwards, it just, I don't know. It just, I could tell you after the heartbreak you had, you were super focused. And that I have to compliment you and your team on that.
Well, you know what? It's funny you bring that up because Davis Sheldon, our captain, and Carter Barley, Connor Navrat, and Drew Carter, that was our MO. You've always got a little bit of a slogan or a saying or a quote, and it was confidence, not arrogance. And you know what, Lou? I'll be honest. There's not a lot of teams out there that like us. It's just the way it is, right? We're pretty darn successful year after year, and Adrian would say the same thing, and Ohio would say the same thing, and a couple other programs. And when you're kind of at the top of the heap, there's not a lot of teams that like you. And I think that's kind of not last year that we got overconfident, but you're in that 2 spot behind Lindenwood, and you kind of think you're going to just get through the first game, certainly, and probably be in that Final Four. And I think that was our approach this year, was just being, as much as people may not believe it, just being humble in everything that we did. And that came from our leaders, that came from our captains. And even heading into that third period of the national championship game, it was just business as usual. Like it was oddly calm, oddly just collective as a group. And I'll tell you, Lou, like, I was never at any point in that tournament, believe it or not, and I am a very, very nervous coach. It might not look like it. I was never nervous for any moment of time during that tournament. And I mean that. I truly mean that. Because I knew that these guys were going to get it done, and I knew what it meant to them. And when we lost that game last year, those same guys, my 5th-year guys, Landon Cochran, Drew Carter, Davis Sheldon, Connor Navrat, I had a text within 24 hours saying I'm coming back for a 5th year. Wow. And those are kids that didn't need to. Those are kids that, paid their own way to go through their grad programs this year and their teaching practicums, and said, we're coming back next year and we're going to win. I'm not kidding you. I could show you those texts from those 4 guys. And
I believe you.
And they did it. It was incredible. I can't tell you how many people, Lou, in the last week that I've said, I didn't do anything at that national tournament as a coach. I stood there, I crossed my arms as I always do, and I let the boys do what they do. And it just about brings tears to my eyes, because those boys mean just so darn much to me. And 26 years of Beaver hockey, it's the first class of those 4 young men that are going to go home with 2 rings as a player.
That's a beauty. That's awesome. And I want to, again, you had another heart-stopping finish against Liberty, but I want to get to the championship game. And first of all, Wyatt, you put 50 some shots up, I think 60 some in the second, in that second overtime game. And then both teams combined for 34 in that third game, or in the championship game. And I know it's not nerves. It's just, I was impressed of how you could adapt. That's, to me, number one, that's a testament of both teams. You and Gary both put 2 wonderful teams out on the ice. But what a change, eh? Did you have to make any kind of adjustment at all? Like say after the first period, or even when you got the 1-0 lead there, it just kind of a different vibe. It was a fun game to watch, but a different game,
Yeah, well, obviously for both, and obviously I'm not to take anything away from our guys. We're certainly probably not as skilled, if you will, as a team like Adrian. That, man, I think they scored 60 more goals than us this year in about the same amount of games, and that's my coaching staff completely. We had a plan in place that we were going to run a very, very different forecheck. I mean, we look probably a lot more like the 2000 New Jersey Devils than anything, because we knew that we had to slow that team down through the neutral zone. We knew that we were going to have to back off, and we weren't going to get into a run and gun game with them because their top two lines are as good as I've ever seen at this level. And so we had to slow them down. We had to force bad dumps all night, which is exactly what we did. And luckily we stuck to our plan. But I mean, our if you were to watch our game 1 forecheck and systems versus our game 4 forecheck and systems, I mean, we look like a completely different team. So, but we practiced that. We did that all season long in practice and in games, and our guys were ready to adapt to whatever we asked of them. And so it was certainly a different one. But you know what? That was the only way, Lou, that we were going to beat that team, was to really, really slow them down and change up everything. And you know what? I think that, not to toot our coaching staff's horn at all, because it's not down to us. It's down to our players executing. But it would have been tough to do video on our team, because the way we played in game 4 compared to games 1 through 3 was just a completely different team. And in the same breath, I mean, you can't teach 3 guys in shot lanes at any given time. I mean, our guys would have blocked shots with no cage on. It was that kind of night. To hold a team like Adrian to 19 shots was nothing short of a miracle. And then they still had 6-7 grade A opportunities, I think was on our shot sheet at the end of the game, and Jake Anthony just stood tall to the task, and I just couldn't be more happy for him and what the guys put into that final game.
Jake played a heck of a tournament. He was so, and I always marvel at goaltending, especially in overtime. And in that championship game, like you said, he played. And, I'm not going to take away from anything from any of the other players, because I look at your sheet from the regular season on into the tournament. You guys had so many different contributors, I know. And it just, again, that's why you're champions, when you can count on so many different guys that contribute, man. It's amazing.
I've been a part of this now, Lou, for 12 years. And, whether it was as a player, an assistant coach, a head coach now. And I can't tell you how many times this year I said it's our depth. It is our depth. And I am not kidding you. Every line started a game for us and played that top line. And I rolled lines, Lou, for 4 straight games. I mean, there was not a double shift out of anybody. And I mean that. And when you're like, that's unheard of, right?
Yeah.
And when I look over and Gary's, rotating 2 lines, I mean, that's absolutely no slight at them. But when we have the ability to put any line on the ice at any given time and any center that's going to win a draw, I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? Before you wear teams down. And so, and it's the same thing on my back end. I mean, I dress 7D every game, and all 7 had a regular shift. We cut down a little bit in the final game to 5D, but I didn't cut my bench down once this year. Like, I'm not kidding you. I had an easy job, Lou. I just, whoever
that's
started,
great.
like, it's crazy. And I mean that. I can't take just about any credit for anything our guys did. We rolled lines. We stuck to what we instilled in the guys from day one, and they did the rest. It was it's such a proud moment for me, just because these guys, they all had a hand in it. They all had a big part in it. We didn't rely on one guy, like you said. These guys just worked so damn hard all year, and it was just like, it's hard for me to even talk about, Lou. It was the semifinal game, and these guys will tell you, and they won't ever let me live it down. But man, I bawled like a baby just because I was so darn proud of them after that overtime win. And Davis, our captain, said, "We're going to do it. We're going to do it for you." And these guys showed up for me and their program and for the brothers next to them. And hey, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Well, humor me. I want to play the Peyton Turnage's call via thanks to Hockey TV real quick.
Barley to Julio. Face off. Barley fighting for it. Puck comes free. Barley from a sharp angle. Lays it in behind. Carter just trying to kill the clock. 20 seconds. Bulldogs digging away on him. It's down to 15. Moved on to Julio. Puck comes free and moved back up. And here come the Bulldogs for one last rush. Sebastian Smith trying to gain the line. He's bodied up. 5 seconds to go. Shot around the boards by Kadoff. Back at center. And in 2023, it's sweet redemption. The Minot St Beavers are ACHA National Champions.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned how you were crying, and I don't know any of the kids, right? And I watched these championship games, the semifinals, and my eyes well up. I'm an old softie. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I do this every year. You know, I don't have a stake in the games at all, and I love it. So, you know, I get where you're coming from, Wyatt. So now here's the next question. How long did you get to celebrate before you start looking at the 2023-24 season?
Lou, I've been on probably 6 FaceTimes, no less than 6 or maybe 8 FaceTimes with some pretty darn quality players that are wanting to be a part of it. So, you know, winning kids want to be a part of a winning program, and we're going to have some big shoes to fill. We're going to lose 7 for sure. Mm-hmm. We had nine seniors. It sounds like 2 will definitely be staying for a 5th year, and they're, you know, very big pieces of our puzzle. But I mean, 7 is a lot. And like I said, those 4 5th-year guys, I mean, you could never replace guys like that. Yeah. The leadership and everything that they've done for us, but it's just so rewarding. And I had this conversation with someone yesterday, and you know, you saw one of the Adrian guys, Connor Smith, there signed a professional deal today. Mm-hmm. And a couple of we're lucky enough to have 8 of our guys going off to Romania and play now. And who knows, maybe one of our seniors or 2 of our seniors will go and play a little semi-pro next year. But that's a tough thing to be in that locker room, win or lose, and know that for the most part, this is probably the last game that these seniors are going to play, a competitive game.
Yeah. Right.
So it's just so darn special to share it with those guys. And, you know, just to earn it in the way that they did is just remarkable. We've got such a darn good group of kids here, just hard working, blue collar, like we talked about the last time, right? It's who's driving the biggest beater, and, you know, those are the kids we want to talk to. And, it just couldn't have been in any more Beaver hockey fashion. We say that word a lot, right? Like we're playing Beaver hockey, and that means just gritty, and you're blocking everything and doing anything for the team. And I mean, it just couldn't have been more perfect in the way that the guys got it done for us this year.
So what is your what's your schedule now that the off season, that technically the off season has started? What does Wyatt do for the spring and summer before practice?
I was on the ice with our North American League team this morning, so we're pushing for the playoffs with the Toros. Nice. We got 6 games left there, so I'll be kind of shifting my gears over there and helping out Cody and Kyle a little bit more. And I'm gearing up for camps. I'm going to be on the road. I do my goalie camps. I'll be on the road for 9 weeks this summer, which is pretty crazy, all of July and August. So that's kind of my main baby during the summer, and hopefully a little bit of golf. That's kind of, I get about 60 days there where I get to golf, and I'll be honest, I'll probably play about 75 rounds.
Well, play one for me, because unfortunately I have to go under the knife in 3 weeks.
Oh shoot!
For
what do you got going?
I got to get my calf muscle lengthened, and bone spurs, and my Achilles is a little strained. And my right foot, I can't even drive for 2 months. So I got to be ready to go for football season, broadcasting, and hockey in the fall. So yeah, no golf this summer for me. So hit around for me, will you?
I certainly will, Lou. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything that you do for us.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn special. I was talking to David with the Hockey House a little bit earlier, and yourself tonight, and it's just so darn cool for these young men and women to have the coverage that they are at the ACHA level, and even you taking your time out of or taking the time out of your busy day today to host a show like this and talk to someone like me means a lot, Lou. So I can't thank you enough. And then obviously putting all the hours in the broadcast booth this past week, that must have been a long week for you. So thank you so much for everything.
All right. Hey, Wyatt, thank you for coming on today. I know you got a lot going on. Yeah, congratulations again. Enjoy it, and then go get them next year. We'll touch base with you in the fall around September and get you back on to gear up. As now the target's going to be on your back. You're going to be the hunted and not the hunter. So again, congrats and thanks for coming on.
And hey, you know what? I'm not going to forget about that little deal that you had to come up to North Dakota. We'll watch us play Mary. I think we'll have about eight weekends against them. So we'll have to find you a hotel and get you up here.
Well, what's funny is I was talking before I let you go. I was talking to my wife. I said, now that I'm going to be on the shelf this summer, I got an extra week of vacation I got to use up in the fall. So there's an idea.
Bring her to Minot, North Dakota in December. What could be better?
Right on. I'll tell her that. Thanks, Wyatt. Go get him this summer again. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. You take care. All right.
All right. You too, buddy. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Wyatt Waselenchuck, the head coach of the victorious national champion Minot State Beavers. What a run they had in the tournament. They had a convincing victory over U of M Dearborn to start off their run in the national tournament. But then things, as we said, got tougher. An overtime win over Indiana Tech 4-3. They weren't behind in that game, but they would get up by one goal. This back and forth tied 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. And then of course the semifinal win, an overtime win, 3-2 over Liberty, and then that 1-0 game over Adrian College. And so Minot is the national champions in men's Division I. Still to join us here shortly, we're going to bring in our next guest, the head coach of the victorious men's Division III national championships. And that, of course, is the University of Michigan and Cal Stripling. But first, this word for Mahler Bros Golf. I was just talking about how I was hoping to get on the golf course, but unfortunately, I'm going to be on the disabled list for a good portion of the summer, but I might be able to get around Labor Day. That's my goal. Maybe August 15th. We'll see how the recovery goes. But when I get out there, I'm going to be feeling good, both my foot and how I look. And that's because I'm going to take up Mahler Bros Golf. They've got polos that are going to make you look good and feel good. The only thing they can't do is improve your golf game. That's on you. But they've got lightweight and stretchy material that hugs your body. Their polos are guaranteed to make you look better, as I said, on a hot summer day on the golf course. Mahler Bros Golf has a large catalog of polos with designs for those that want loud designs maybe, or maybe more like me, a little more conservative. And they also have fun t-shirts, tumblers, hats, so much more to make your golfing experience better. Make sure when you go to MahlerBrosGolf.com, use the promo code BELLYUP, all one word, and you get 15% off. That's MahlerBrothers.com, MahlerBros.com, MahlerBors.com. Use the promo code BELLYUP for 15% off. And, and you'll get yourself looking good on the golf course. I promise you that. So, all right, without any further ado, let's bring in the head coach of the men's ACHA national champions, that being the University of Michigan. And that's also the national coach of the year, Cal Stripling. Cal, thanks again for taking time out tonight to be with us. How are you?
I'm doing great, Lou. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm glad the first one went so well that I got an invite back. It feels good.
No, hey, anytime you've got carte blanche to come on here, Cal, man. I always have fun talking with you. Hey, first off, I know coach speak and everything, but congratulations on getting National Coach of the Year. That's going to make you feel good.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I think for this program, it was kind of a long time coming for one of the coaches to do it. I think Jason Bartek's probably a little upset that it was me over him, but I mean, like the way that this program's been running for the past 5 years, like I think it was truly just a matter of time. And like that's not tooting my own horn. It's just like the system that we've had in place for the past 5 years and the talent we get on the team. You know, it's just a matter of time. And I'm glad this year was a year. It felt good.
You know, it's funny. We had a chance to I had a chance to watch you in the or I broadcasted your game in the semis of the Vezina Cup tournament, and you know you beat Grand Valley in a heart stopper, and then of course you know the game against Hope didn't go your way, but you and I talked briefly, and you said you were really you felt really good about going into the national tournament, and your players looked like it too.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you know, we get 2 good warm-up games in Grand Valley and Hope right before we get out there. Like we're playing the best of the MCHC, and you know, whenever you're going in playing against talent, you're just gonna be ready for it. I mean, it didn't really work out all that well. I thought our first game at the tournament was a little slow, but you know, it was another MCHC team, and they're always hard to beat.
Well, you know, Cal, it's funny is I was telling people that, you know, I called your pool the pool of death.
Oh, yeah.
There's one every year in D3, you know that.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, look at what you had in your pool. Oakland, you know, they had the pedigree, Gulf Coast, and then, of course, Arkansas. You had to have been shaking your head at first or something. You just couldn't get away from Arkansas. And, you know, wow, you guys went through that unscathed, but man, it was tough.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hard to say it was unscathed, honestly. I think out of those 3 games, Arkansas was the best that we played, and then the other 2 were pretty much nail biters till middle of the 3rd period, and then we kind of pulled away, got back to our game, and yeah, made it a little bit better. But oh yeah, it was a tough pool for sure.
You know, I want to go back and ask you or tell you. I was telling Wyatt Waselenchuck from Minot State earlier. I watched the way you guys were handling yourself off and on the ice, and I watched them. And, you know, we both know the story, you guys coming into this year, tough losses. I mean, yours was in the title game. Theirs was in the opening round. I just saw this focus of both your teams that I didn't really see in the other one, anybody else, that, you know, it was an air of confidence, not arrogance, but confidence. But you were having fun, but I just saw it in you guys that there was just that extra determination.
Oh yeah, our goalie coach Andrew Halliburton. Before every game we get off the bus, he's like, "Business trip, guys. It's a business trip. We're here to take care of our business." And yeah, that's how our guys kind of viewed it. And I always said from the beginning of this year that this is our year, right? Like we have the talent for it. We have the team. We have the system, and just like full belief throughout the year that this was the team to get it done. And yeah, I'm glad that these guys pulled through. It's great group of guys, and gonna miss the 9 seniors that we're missing next year. So it's tough turnaround.
We're joined by Cal Stripling, the head coach, University of Michigan, men's Division III head coach, national champions. We'll get into the championship game here in a little bit. Like I said, you guys played really good against Arkansas. I watched the replay of that, a good portion of that. And, you know, coming after that game, that had to make you feel real good going into that semifinal.
Yeah, definitely. We did feel good. You know, we played our best game of the year, I think, against Arkansas. But then, you know, we have another hard opponent in Grand Valley, and they did not let us get away easy. It was another nail biter that we had to wait till, you know, our third period to really open up and start getting our game going. But yeah, we stuck with it, and all credit to Grand Valley. They played us tough, and honestly, it could have gone either way. But, you know, having Anthony Remick in net, like just made everything a little bit easier. It gave us a little bit of cushion every game.
Well, I got to tell you, full disclosure, I went there to watch that game, right? And it's nothing after 2 periods. And of course, I had to take a walk for reasons. Well, we'll just let you can figure it out. And I come back and it's 2-1. And I'm like,
yeah.
doggone it. But I want to, here's what I could get for you to listen to. Here was the go-ahead goal against Grand Valley.
Face off one to Chi. Shot block. Second effort. They score. Are you kidding me? A Wolverine struck again. Trevor Kalis lights the lamp.
You know, it's funny as you guys scoreless after 2 periods, and then you get 3 goals between the 2 teams in what, less than a minute?
Oh yeah,
I think it was. How intense was that, eh?
Yeah, 30 seconds, I'm pretty sure, even less, 3 goals. Yeah. I mean, just absolutely crazy. It's just kind of how hockey is, every second's important, every shift is important. But yeah, Trevor with 2 game winners against Grand Valley on the year, got the OT winner in MCHC. He was just a very clutch player for us, and yeah, I'm glad he came up big in those games. Very glad.
So, you win that one. How much sleep did you get the night before the Hope game?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Maybe 4 or 5 hours or something. Yeah,
wow.
we watched our game against Grand Valley, watched all of Hope's games, just kind of went over everything. And yeah, I mean, me, Greg Pine, Nick Gowell, the 3 coaches that we had there at the rink, we just kind of hungered down and figured out a game plan against these guys. And we came out hot and we looked good. And yeah, it's just what we needed.
You did. And so you get into the championship game, you're up 4-1 after 2 periods. And then this right here happened to give you even a little better cushion.
Save made by Schick on the rebound, and they score! Oh, yes, it did! They score! He initially waved it off, but the ref points in the back of the net. It's 5-1.
Well, that goal made it 5-1, but I got to ask you, when it was 5-3 and they waved that goal off to make it could have been 5-4 there towards the end. I was standing there in that end of the ice, but I didn't see what happened. Did you get any kind of explanation when, you guys, I think they were 6-on-5 then when it was 5-3, because originally it looked like the goal was in. Did they to make it 5-4?
So I'm sure Chris got the better explanation on the whole bench, but I thought that the play was blown dead, and I'm assuming that's what they stuck with. And yeah, I think that was the right call. It was just a little nightmare in front, and it's tough for refs to really see the puck there, and you gotta go with your gut there. And yeah, it's just I don't know how I would have handled a 5-4 game in that situation. That would have been a tough for sure.
I don't know either. It's funny but I thought I heard the whistle. So I mean, it's easy for me to sit up there, behind the goal because I was over on that corner, to say that. But
sure.
But you're up 5-1 and it's 5-3. Your heart's got to be right in your throat by then, isn't it? In those last minutes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think they scored with like 4 minutes left to make it 5-3, and I'm just like, oh, not another one of these games against Hope where they just have an incredible comeback and just tarnish our season. But yeah, the guys stayed strong, stayed focused, just kind of made it hard for them to score. It really clogged up the lanes, started blocking shots, diving to get pucks out of our zone, just kind of whatever it took. And I think that's just how we played the whole game. Like, we came into the game like desperate to win a national championship, and I think that desperation showed in our game. Like, everyone was flying out there, getting down to block shots, block passes, good 2-on-1 play by Michael North, I think in the first period. Like, just small things that make a huge difference. And I think everybody was willing to do the small things this tournament.
Well, let's take you back. I'm sure you heard it a million times, but I want to play it one more time. Let's listen to the last seconds of your in that victory.
Michigan just needs to hang on. Face off one, down the ice. It's slow enough. It's going towards the cage. Will it have enough? No icing. 10 seconds left. Michigan has slayed the dragon. They have beaten Hope. And for the first time, they have won a national championship.
Yeah, let's thank Tyler Cool on the call that one via Hockey TV. And, I know you've been asked this, but take me through your emotions when you see 000s.
I mean, yeah, it's just the whole year, what we were working for, fighting for, it just all paid off in that moment. It was pure elation. Like Greg Pine, Nick Gowell right next to me. Obviously, neither had won a national championship with this team, and like it just felt amazing to get over that hump. Like we were so due. At like past 4 years, we went to the top 4, went to the semis every time. Like the program was due, and to be the team that got over the hump, it felt amazing. Like I think, I'm still shivering over here, getting goosebumps thinking about it. It was just an amazing experience that I won't ever forget for sure.
Oh, and it's funny, again, I was talking to Wyatt about it, and he said the tears were flowing, and these are the moments, those watching you guys, everybody that won, is why I do this, because I get shivers, I get tears, my eyes well up, and I don't have, like I told him, I don't have a stake in the game. I just love to watch it and to see the emotions. And wow, it was fantastic. And you and I talked about this, and I think I've talked to every coach in Michigan. It's just, again, my hat's off to not only you guys, but Hope, Grand Valley, Lawrence Tech, and all the teams from the MCHC that made it to the tournament. But again, the Final Four, all Michigan schools. And what a statement that you guys made.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good hockey up here. We can't get away from it. But, we play a full season against good hockey teams, and it's just some teams you keep building off of it, keep building, getting better and better. And I thought our young guys really stepped up, like grew every game, and our captains, our senior leaders, just every game, more involvement on the bench, more just effort on the ice, just everything went perfect this year. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better group of guys.
So, how long after the game before you started on the recruiting trail?
I think the next 24 hours afterwards, we probably got like 20 outreaches for recruiting for next year.
Wow.
Which is just way out of the ordinary. It's pretty light, especially around March, April. Mostly it's August when it starts picking up. But there's a lot of interest, and I think my job next year for recruiting should be fairly simple with a national championship now.
I can remember when Jordan Promoda won with Aquinas in 2017, I asked him that. I said, he said, Lou, my phone started ringing 2 hours after the game when they were on the bus on the way back from Columbus to Grand Rapids. And but he enjoyed the win. So, what are you doing, Cal, now in the summer? What's your schedule look like before this? I mean, I know recruiting happens and all that, but what do you do now in the summertime until fall practice starts back up?
Now I'm back to the normal life. I had to catch up from work, had a nice week off, felt good to get a little break there, but back working, back trying to enjoy some sun if we get a little bit more here in Michigan. We'll see. But just gonna enjoy the summer here, and work will start back up around August for the hockey team.
Well, Cal, again, congratulations. One hell of a run for you guys this year. And it was such a joy to not only watch you guys, but I tell everybody, you got to watch the quality of hockey in these national tournaments. And everybody put on such a wonderful show. It was intense, and at all the levels. And I mean, look at what happened in in your division. I mean, have you ever heard of a team that's up a goal that has to pull a goalie in order to try to get in? That being Notre Dame. It was weird to watch.
It is weird. Yeah, it's all the tie-breaking rules. They're weird, but it leads to forms of hockey that you'll never see, like pulling the goalie with a goal lead. But it's Yeah, it's great to be out there. Every national championship tournament we've been to has been a great experience for the guys, for the coaches, for everybody. And I really just can't say enough about the ACHA. They put on a great show out there. Now we're getting coverage with the Hockey House pod. Obviously, you're out there covering everything. Like it's really great. Just the growth that I've seen from when I was a player to right now, it's incredible to see. And getting these guys under the spotlight, I think it's good for them, and it gets them a little more motivated. I think so. It's great.
Now you're like Ric Flair. To be the man, you got to beat the man. So now you're the man, but that also with that, you're now the hunted instead of the hunter. So enjoy that. It's going to be a new feeling for you, but I know it's one you don't mind embracing.
Not at all. Yeah, looking forward to that one. It'll be a new challenge for us, but yeah, we're excited to take it on. Would rather be on this side for sure.
Well, Cal, thanks for taking time out tonight to be with us. I really, truly enjoyed it. It's always fun catching up with you. Enjoy your summer, and look forward to talking with you. We'll get in touch with you in September when we start the podcast up, and
perfect.
We'll see what you got going on there in September. And again, congratulations on winning the championship. Well-deserved, and enjoy your summer.
Thank you, Lou. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Anytime you want me, I'm here. I love the show. Love what you do for the sport. Thank you very much.
You bet. All right. Thanks, Cal. Cal Stripling, the head coach of the University of Michigan. They are the D3 national champions. And I got a feeling they're not going very far because, again, we talked about it with the Division III stranglehold that the Michigan Collegiate Hockey Conference has. They're going to be tough to beat next year between them and Hope and Grand Valley, Saginaw Valley, you name it. But again, congratulations to Cal and his Michigan Wolverines, as they are indeed the national champions. So again, you are watching the ACHA Power Play live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube. We are powered up by Belly Up Sports, by the way. And we've got a lot of great stuff going on with the network. We got a lot of previews coming up with the draft, with the baseball starting tomorrow. It's hard to believe Major League Baseball is going to be starting back up, but we've got the NHL with Stanley Cup, the NBA playoffs around the corner, and of course, Final Four coming up this weekend in the NCAAs with all the surprises there. So check us out on our website, bellyupsports.com. That's bellyupsports.com. And of course, we've got that. Check out our lineup there, a complete lineup of all of our podcasts. We got a lot of great people on there as well. And also check out our articles. We got a great assortment of writers. They do a wonderful job keeping us up to date on everything going on in the world of sports. We're going to tell you a little bit about who won in the other divisions and preview our next week's show. We're going to have one more ACHA Power Play podcast for the season. We're going to wrap it up next week, and then we'll take a break from that until September. We usually do this, the ACHA Power Play portion from right around the week after Labor Day until right up through a couple weeks after the national tournament. So gives, give them a chance to refresh a little bit, gives us a chance as well. But before we get into those championship results in the other divisions, again, I want to tell you something a little bit about Mahler Bros Golf. We all want to look good on the golf course. So do I, and I really want to this year. But unfortunately, like I said, going to be for me. I'm on the disabled list. I will be in about 3 weeks. But when I'm still hoping to get on the golf course, maybe around Labor Day, maybe the end of August, if everything works out great. Mahler Bros Golf has polos that look good and feel good. And, their lightweight and stretchy material will make you feel good on the golf course. Like I said, the only thing they won't do is improve your golf game. So when you're wearing these Mahler Bros tees or polos on the course, make sure you're wearing them while you're practicing to get that golf game good, because when you feel good, you play good. When you look good, you play good. So, and there's no better way to look good than with a Mahler Bros golf polo golf shirt. Also, they've got fun t-shirts, hats, tumblers, so much more to make your golfing experience better. And when you go to MahlerBros.com, that's MahlerBros.com, use the promo code BELLYUP, all caps, one word, and you'll get 15% off your purchase. That's MahlerBros.com for all of your apparel. You know, they've got loud designs if that's your thing, or if you're more like me, a little bit more on the conservative side, that's they've got that as well. That's Mahler Bros, MahlerBros.com. And again, make sure you use the promo code BELLYUP, all caps, one word, and you'll get 15% off. So it's that simple. If I can do it, you can do it. So anyways, let's get back here. We got a few minutes left in the show tonight. Want to talk a little bit about some of the other divisions. Like I said, we're going to have one more show next week, efforting to get a couple of more of the championship coaches on. UMass, Coach DeFazio, try to get Liberty's head coach on again, Chris Lowe, as they won one for the thumb, 5 straight for Liberty. I know Sioux Colleges. I know Brittany's going to be in Florida, so I know it might be a little difficult to get her on. But anyways, what a great tournament. We talked about it. It just the matchups, the intrigue, the drama. The women's Sioux College, they were able to complete an undefeated season with a big win over Northeastern, 6-1. Northeastern with probably one of the bigger upsets in all of the tournament, beating Assiniboine in the semifinals. But congratulations to them for getting there. Sioux wins that one 6-1. Minot State, we talked about them. They played Liberty. And I thought if there was a team that might be able to end the run for the Liberty Flames, it might be the Lady Minot State team, the D1. But Liberty was just a little too strong in the end. 3-2, the final score there in that one, as they were victorious. And then in men's Division II, it was UMass. They were a team of destiny. The way they played throughout the pool play in D2, getting off to such fast starts, 7-goal leads, 4 or 5-goal leads, hanging on when they had to. And then in the semifinals playing St. Thomas, they got up to a quick 2-0 lead. Then it got to 3-2. And it was, again, Coach DeFazio's team, congratulations to them. They won the national championship there, playing against a gritty Iowa team. This Iowa team, they, I talk a little bit about them real quick. They were the 9th seed in their region going into the regional qualifying in D2. So they had to play 3 games to get there. And they did just that. They won all 3. Where in the regionals for those last 2 spots at nationals, most of the teams, the top 6, only have to play 2 games. They played 3, and they were victorious in all of them. So they were the 4 seed going in, and they won their bracket unscathed, 3-0, beating Lindenwood, and the likes of them, who were one of the favorites to get in. And so they took on an Indiana team who was the 4th seed in their pool. So 2 4 seeds met in the semifinals, and they put on probably one of the most heart-stopping games in the tournament, a double overtime game. And, it was just an amazing game. And so let's take a quick listen as in order to get to the championship game against UMass, they had to go to double overtime.
Reese went up against Cascatrain, and it was won by Indiana. They chop at it in deep in the Indiana zone. 1:50 left. The clock is running here in double overtime. They'll fight for it over now in behind the Indiana bench. They chop at it over there in the near corner. They fight for it now. Here it comes, Rody with a chance up over the top of the goal and behind the net. Oh, it's loose. There's an opportunity, and they score! C.J. Parisi scores the game winner. 18:30 into double overtime, and the Iowa Hawkeyes will survive and advance to the championship game against University of Massachusetts. Oh, what a game! What a finish! Wow! The Iowa Hawkeyes have advanced. The final score, 2-1.
It's funny is talking with head coach Wyatt Waselenchuck of Minot State, and of course Cal Stripling of Michigan. We talked about bringing tears to your eyes to watch your team win, And, how Wyatt, admitted how he was crying after that semifinal win. I got the pleasure of calling, as you can probably tell, that double overtime thriller. That was probably, if not the most thrilling hockey game that I've ever, call that I've ever had. In all the sports I've been doing play-by-play off and on for 40 years. And it was probably one of the most thrilling calls that I've ever had. And, it brought tears to my eyes just calling it. And like I said, I didn't have a dog in the fight. I didn't have a stake in it. It's why I do those games, and to make calls like that and to be able to see that the players, it's tough seeing teams lose. And, it really is, your heart aches for those teams, and for Indiana to make it as far as they did as well. And for that Iowa team to get to the championship game, the long road they had to hoe to get to the championship game, it was simply amazing. And they had a chance to play UMass in that championship game, and UMass just jumped out to a quick lead. 58 seconds in, they got the goal, and then they got another one in this, midway through the first period. And, when, you play a team like UMass and you spot them a 2-0 lead after one, boy, that's just a Herculean task ahead of you. And it just, unfortunately for Iowa, it was not their day. So congratulations to UMass. They were the D2 champions in the men's side. So again, it was great hockey over 5 days or 6 days, all in the same arena. Just thrilled to be a part of it. And again, already looking forward to next year, St. Louis in 2024, in the regular season again, come to the fall. And looks like I got a trip to make out to Minot, North Dakota. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna mark it on my calendar for sure. So, well, hey, that's gonna do it here tonight for our program. Want to thank Wyatt Waselenchuck, the head coach of Minot State's men's Division I, the Beavers. They're national champions again, a 1-0 win in the final over Adrian College. Hats off to Gary Astalis' team for again another great run right to the championship game. But want to thank Wyatt for taking time out of his busy schedule for coming on, and of course Cal Stripling, the head coach of the University of Michigan, the men's D3 squad. They got over the hump. They were able to get that win over Hope College. Congratulations to Chris Van Timmeren and his Hope Flying Dutchman. I know that's not the result they want. They have set the bar there, as far as expectation goes at Hope. And I just have this sneaking suspicion that Chris and his squad will be right back there in the hunt for another national championship again next year. They will, the fire is lit. So for the teams that won, congratulations. You're now the hunted instead of the hunters, except for Liberty's women who, it seems like another Ric Flair coin from back in the day. Diamonds are forever. And so is the Liberty women's hockey team, as they're again on top of the mountain. So for these teams, congratulations, all the winners again. Minot State men's D1, UMass, the Minutemen in D2, and Michigan in D3 for the men. And on the women's side, Liberty and Sioux College out of Sioux, Canada at D2 for the women. So again, well, that's going to do it for tonight. Join us next Wednesday, 7:00. We will have our final ACHA Power Play podcast for the 2023 or 2022-23 season. Rasty McGibbon's going to join us next week. Looking forward to Rasty. Go to the ACHA, the ACHA YouTube channel. He's got all these interviews that he's done with all the different players, the administrators, the coaches. He conducted, about 90 interviews, and he had a lot of great interviews on there, talking to, like I said, the players, administrators, game-winning goal scorers. CJ Parisi he had on right after that double overtime game winner against Indiana from the Iowa Hawkeyes. A lot of the players from the championship teams. So check that out. That's ACHA YouTube channel. But Rasty's going to come on with us next Wednesday. He's going to talk a little bit about that and also preview the ACHA team that's going to be representing USA in Romania coming up towards the end of April in the World Games. There's going to be 2 teams, USA and Canada, both are going to be represented by ACHA players. So we'll talk to Rasty about that and hope to get a couple more coaches on. We'll try to effort the different coaches in the ACHA that were victorious in the national tournament. So join us then next Wednesday, 7:00 right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network, powered up by Belly Up Sports. That is for another edition of the ACHA Power Play. For head coach Wyatt Waselenchuck and for Cal Stripling, and for you, the viewers, I want to thank you all for taking time out to be with us tonight. Captain Lou saying, keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, and as always, keep your minds open. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy hockey. Enjoy everything. We'll see you next Wednesday right here on the ACHA Power Play on the Captain Lou Sports Network. So long.